existed in history for that game. So,
Okay, see if I care.
and
Has
and knowing
Assassin's Creed always been true to history though?
no, they went for this Assassin's Creed. They're saying this the guy Yasuke, Black Samurai. They're saying he existed in history, but he didn't exist. And even if he did exist in history, he wouldn't have that said title.
And we know this because we fact checked it, or
From So let's see if it existed on if Yasuke existed on a wiki page originally, and the source of where he came up was was literally just quoted by one guy quoting himself. Did he really exist, or and did he really do the things they said he did? It's not multiple sources, and if Japan has to correct you that he didn't have this title, it's not
People
historically
are here.
accurate, and so you can't
Great.
pull the line of the game is historically accurate. If you still try to run with that, you're a dumbass. You can have a you can say we have a historical character. That's fine to say. That's fine to say, but you can't say it's historically accurate. And then the merch they tried to sell, and the merch they tried to sell for Shadows is the figurine. The figurine had a Tory statue that was only that Tory statue was only there after a nuke. So if you have a Tory statue in this time
Minions
period,
have spawned.
and this only happened after a nuke, and this is not the technology they have. Well, it's kind of interesting for you to have that, and well, be this racist.
This place is so getting harrowed.
And
Just give
let's
up.
see,
I'm ready
and
to
you're
fight.
playing, and let's see, who wants to play as the only black character in a whole Asian city? Yeah, that makes sense. And you're killing other Asian people. Yeah, that sounds about right. Who's gonna suspect? You can just blend in with the crowd, right? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You're the only black dot on the white paper. No one's gonna suspect you because you're blending in with people. And that's just like one of their 50 problems wrong with the game. The fact I think one of the problems I kind of have with it is the fact they're trying to release this game on Black History Month.
oh, in February.
So you're you're trying to appeal to Americans while being culturally inaccurate for for the main people you're trying to sell it to in their region, while getting everything in the region wrong, including how they draw, and the doors are clipping to the floors, and the stairs do not properly connect, and this is the best footage they had for the game for the game in the trailer, and you can see all the things that are fucked up, and you're telling me you're gonna release this game on Black History Month to appeal to
These
people,
bad thoughts.
and you're
Think
telling me
bad
this is gonna
thoughts.
be your long and anticipated game that's gonna make you so much money back, like like the failure they just had with Star Wars Outlaws, where they turned a model that was actually pretty beautiful in the game, and gave the female the following ugly face. They gave her the butterface treatment.
Get some rain clouds in here.
Like bodies are good,
What's up,
everything else
Ghost?
doesn't.
We hanging there? Cool.
Body, I'll say body looks decent. Face is like, they face like they punched you, giving you that clay face. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that in games now. And they and these people literally say, "Oh, our technology isn't good enough to perfectly replicate the faces and get them perfectly." But meanwhile, if it's for like if it's for an actor, is this for an actor or a person, they can get the face perfectly right. But meanwhile, if it's like a girl character that you have to play, she's the model who's supposed to be who's supposed to be like it's made after is mad beautiful, and and then you see her in game, she's mad ugly.
Shadow, carry me. Okay.
I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that in gaming at all.
What if she requested it? What if she was like, I don't want to be fat material?
Um, if a person is going to be playing as a character, if a person is going to be playing as a character throughout the whole game, I I believe 90% of guys, since we're the target consumer for most of these games that they make,
Death is the
they
true
they
reward.
kind of do have to appeal to us. They don't have to be like fap worthy. They don't have to be fap worthy, but they have to be like beautiful, because you can't press, because even if you're like a game dev, even if you're like a game dev, it's either it's either everything in the game is ugly, or everybody looks actually somewhat good. You can't play this one character looks good versus every other character versus every other character. Well, your character looks like trash, and every other character looks kind of freaking good. We don't play that shit. We don't actually play that shit, because it'll naturally just deter dudes from a game. If the game if you can't fuck up, if you can't do a face right, goddamn you, they probably can't do the gameplay right either.
Okay, time to take it down a level.
But then again, for for 2024, for 2024, it's been a massive game flop.
For that
It's been
company?
oh for no companies in
Ugh,
general.
look
It's
at
been a
that
massive game
tree.
flop for.
So stupid.
You think no one's doing it right?
Um, a lot of the Western game developers have been failing hard, but
You know what,
go
Shadow?
out of the country
Sometimes
go out of the
the ghosts
country
don't
and check.
hurt you.
They're they're making games that want everybody genuinely wants to play,
An enemy has been
and
slain.
the characters look good,
Double kill.
even if the gameplay is not, even if the gameplay is not amazing. At least they did their job for making like at least a one hit wonder. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. You'll get through the game. You'll
We
play
could
the
start
game,
a club for
and
people
after you
who
finish it, you
hate
probably won't
people.
return to it. But with the worth of
Ally
money,
has been
you'll
slain.
it probably was
Shut
worth it
down.
to you. But if we're talking about like one of the newest releases for people's games,
An
and
ally
we
has
play
been
like
slain.
an hour of the game, and we already feel like refunding, that's a problem.
Yeah, I I can't be happy, no one can. Well, look at you. Nope.
Right now it's kind of a bit of what had what has the companies done?
I could really use less friends.
Yeah. So, mm, so for the year, not just games flop, TV shows flop. Star Wars: The Acolyte, it
Every
flopped.
silver lining has a dark cloud.
The game Star Wars
Bring it
Outlaw,
down a notch.
it flopped. The company lost money. Agatha all along, Agatha all along, it flopped. Dustborn, it 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 super flopped.
Wouldn't do that.
Did you hear about Concord?
No.
Okay, so um, Concord was released. Concord was released on, I believe, like PlayStation and such. The game cost I think PlayStation Steam is right, and the game costed around I think it costed not 70 but $40. It was it was literally advertised by Sony for a good minute. They spent years to create the game. They spent
Man,
over 400
walking
million on the game,
sucks.
and then when the game released, it had the game had under 800 players. So under 800 players for a game that took 400 million. Sony decided they're gonna cut their losses, remove the game from the store, cut the online service. The game went dark,
Are you smiling?
and so they they fully lost like above 400 mil because they had to do
If anyone
refunds
needs
on the
me, I'll
game.
be back. I don't know. Whenever.
I think that um
An enemy has been slain.
I believe the next thing that flopped was Echo, whatever that TV show
An
was.
enemy has been slain.
The next game that flopped was
Don't
Flintlock,
understand me.
the Siege of Dawn. Um, Another show that flopped would be I believe the Borderlands show they had.
They did a show for Borderlands?
Yeah. The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That super flop, and they spent millions on that, and they did not get the check. They did not get the so-called check, even though the reviewer said the game was good, but it's an online service game. But it's an online service game, but this game does not have a population. It doesn't have a good population, so as soon as I guess if like PlayStation fully completes their contract, and lets them have all the passes, finish out all the passes as opposed to release those. Who knows? They might close down the game.
Enemy killing spree.
Next would be the next ev- evolvement of Doctor Who.
You know, I've never seen Doctor Who, but apparently
Oh,
it's been going on for like ever, and it's
it's
actually
been
like such a
it's
good show.
it's actually no, Doctor Who was goated. I've seen the last few Doctors. The last few Doctors have been amazing, and the Doctors usually go on for like 5-10 years
Wasn't as cool
of
as I thought it'd
playing
be.
their role
Really.
until we got to this Black Doctor and the feminist,
Mm.
and right and basically right there they killed a lot of their views. They killed a lot of their views, and basically the people didn't. Basically, they did what every journalist
An
did
ally has been
when it comes
slain.
to games and TV
I'll
shows.
show
If
you
we
the
don't if we don't like that, they they get a little. It's not about diversity.
An
It's
ally has
it's the
been
language they
slain.
use. It's the language they use that like it'll literally just turn you off from the whole show.
What do you mean the language?
And it's a little I think it's a little woke.
Well, aren't they just trying to cater
They
to a
can't
younger audience?
they can't cater. You don't cater. It always kills itself. You don't cater.
sunlight.
And so for Doctor Who, they killed off a lot of their audience for Doctor Who, and this is a beloved show, so it kind of pisses me off. It kind of pisses me off as well. I think Tales of Zal. This is made by this was made
An
by
ally has been slain.
uh, this was made by I know a black dev, but the game wasn't any good, and so the game wasn't any good
Has destroyed
as a
a
whole, and I guess the DEI apartment the DEI department that this man hired for the game kind of did kind of just shot him in the leg because at the end of this he should have worked more on the gameplay. They should have worked more on the gameplay of the game and making it fun rather than
has
that.
been slain.
And so the the
Enemy killing
that game
spree.
did not have
Finally.
the game didn't have enough of a player base. And the game didn't have enough of a player base. It was single player. It was a single player game, so he didn't break even on its release.
Shut down.
And then Dragon Age Veilguard, Dragon Age Veilguard, they said the journalists tried to hype this game up.
Bring it down a notch.
The journalists tried to hype this game up, and all the game journalists literally gave the game high reviews over different games that are doing spectacular right now. And so when the game released, since it was a Dragon Age and the game was hyping up, they got like around like 80K, but it's been barely. But you know, if the game is good before the month is over, the player count should
Why
not
do I
dip
even
should
wake up
not
in the morning?
drastically dip.
Make people use
But this game's barely been out a month. They went from like 80K players consistently playing on the game on release to like 30K to like 20. and they already spent millions on this game. They already sold like they just broke 1 million copies on this game, but the game is not doing well because again they're not getting they're not getting the same income back. And for Dragon Age, they said a lot of players said the game doesn't feel like a the game doesn't feel like a Dragon Age game. It doesn't dabble in all the dark elements the other Dragon Age games had, and there's too much trans bullshit. Like, actually, players actually wish they could kill off the trans character. They actually wish they could kill that character off for how annoying that character is. But you know, game reviewers they gave it a 9. But if you check Google, people are giving this a 2 and 3.
An ally has been slain.
Right.
And then unknown 9 awakening. This is another game that it's another game that they didn't work on the gameplay very well. The character again you're playing as a female character. The gameplay is too lackluster, and they made a beautiful model ugly with the man chin again.
Please, put me back in my misery.
Like they usually do. And they they even tried to give give that game away. They tried to give that game away with a PC, with the PC. So on Steam you may see people who got the product. They say got the product for free, and they're saying they want to refund this game if they could after playing it. But that's another game that just didn't sell well. So when we get into 2025, we're gonna see if Assassin's Creed Shadows, if they actually fixed Assassin's Creed Shadows and made the game less racist and maybe fix the issues with the game. If not, the company Ubisoft is going to lose another like 400 million or 200 something million for a game. They'll probably get it'll probably break 1 million copies, but they won't break even on profit. But the thing about for Ubisoft right now, if they fail again, they're gonna fire. If they fail again, the investors are all banding together to get the CEO fired over there. So basically you actually lost. So basically they lost enough money for the investors to be pissed. If the investors want the CEO fired, you know you fucked up.
Seriously?
I don't know if you're listening anymore.
So what?
An enemy is godlike.
Yeah, she stopped listening.
I was listening.
Okay.
I was
Okay,
listening. I was in a fight though, so it's hard for me what's it called? To respond back.
But
Ubisoft
on
makes
a
good games though. I feel
Huh?
like they're doing well.
they're not a lot of these for a lot of these movies, I guess not movies, but TV shows and games, they're losing money. They're not getting the cash back that they invested into this.
Wow,
Well,
that
they
was some quality
a lot of
alone
the people that make this, and if we don't like it, they literally call it racist, and it says this isn't made for you. And then okay, if you're making it for like the 1% of the population, well you've already just sealed the fate of the show or game.
This place is so getting harrowed.
You'll literally just seal the fate of the show or game if you do that shit.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm coming.
The only thing I really wish for like these games the games they coming out with
An
such
ally has been slain.
is what's the word?
Enemy is legendary. Enemy double kill.
Shadow, can I get like 5 minutes
Has
of
destroyed.
I don't want Dev I don't want Dev to forcibly put a black person in there because they need to check a box. I don't want them to put a random Asian person in there if they need to just check a box. I don't want them to put a Latino person in there if they need to check the box. I want them to literally work on the story, make sure everything works together well. If you add if you add like a Mexican, a black person, an Asian, I don't care whatever fucking race a motherfucker is. Just make sure it works well with the story. It it doesn't feel it playing with them doesn't feel like a full blown stereotype. And for a lot of the devs to
sleep?
not literally make well okay got it. For the devs to not literally make the story fixated on a trans issue because I don't fucking care about trans issues. I don't care about gay issues. I just want them to literally focus. If there's something gay there, they just need to make the story good. If they make the story good, I don't have to worry about them injecting it because the story will be great with them.
Think sad thoughts.
If it's not if it's not a stereotype that I'm listening to while playing the game, I'm not gonna get pissed off and just be like, ah yes, I want a refund. Or I just, or you know, I just want to, refund a $70 game, $60-$70 game because apparently the game is so riddled with bugs, and this is just their way to say, haha, we released a game for your favorite. We're gonna release a game for your favorite series. It's gonna be total shit, and we know you're gonna buy it. And then, and after the first 2 months of it being released, we're going to update it maybe once or twice, and we're gonna leave it there, and we're gonna run off of your money.
Oh, where are we
And the
going?
game is still, would still be
It
totally
doesn't
broken.
matter.
Shit like that. They did that shit to me at least 2 times. And if you lose like $140, I firmly think I don't pre-order games anymore. I really don't. I don't want to buy AAA games anymore. I'll literally search for indie devs because indie devs are not focused on a diversity quota. They're working on making the game fun. They're working on making the game fun first, the story second, and then after that they'll worry about diversity. As like a last second thing.
Ugh, this place has way too many colors.
Which after that I don't have a problem. did you hear about Black Myth Wukong?
Black Man's Wukong?
Black Myth Wukong.
Black Myth Wukong. Yeah. I've seen some of the gameplay. It looks gorgeous.
Yes, the game. So 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 here's the thing. When Black Myth Wukong came out, it had 2.4 million concurrent players.
Your turret has been destroyed.
2 points. What? Returning players?
Okay. So like the peak for like the current players that were on it was like 2.4 million at one time,
Oh, okay.
and it stayed like that for days. And when it got over to like a month, it was still in the millions. And so now we're like three we're like 3 months in. We're like 3 months in of this game, and it finally dipped from the millions to like 95K.
Boink. First of all,
So
Your inhibitor has respawned.
they're gonna, but it's basically like a Souls like game.
first and foremost, anytime the word monkey is
so you know what
like,
that
I
means.
want
Once
the
you beat
word
once you beat
monkey
the game,
and Blue
you-
Spartan's
a
name
lot of
to
people
be
will
like
get off and not turn
synonymous
to it,
with
right?
each other. Okay.
And get to do it all again? Yay.
So that just means so th- so that just shows that shows like the same thing. That shows like the same thing with Elden Ring. And Elden Ring was phenomenal.
Elden
But
Ring has like an occult following.
yes, and
Shadow, carry
and
me.
the same thing was going to happen for Black Myth Wukong. But here's the thing right now.
Okay. What's
But
the issue?
they're trying to give the game award to Dragon Age Veilguard, and every player, most of the players are not rating this game high. They're rating this game dog shit low. They're trying to give the game award. They're trying to give the game award to the game based on diversity, not gameplay, not as much as
And
players
the only
actually loved it.
correlation is that he constantly
The
calls me a
game just
monkey.
broke a million copies sold, and they're trying to
An
they're
ally has
trying
been
to
slain.
make it the game of the year.
Enemy killing spree. Enemy double kill.
So with that alone, that means there's a complete bias.
Executed. Your turret
That's
has
the
been
con.
destroyed.
That's what I want.
There's a
That's what
complete bias for a game. That means
That's what I want.
players
That's what I need, actually. Yeah.
that means players as a whole don't
I
have
want
a say
everyone
in
to
this.
know
Even if they don't like the game, and they're gonna
for a
try and prop
fact
up
that he calls
a
me a
game
monkey
no one likes.
consistently. Shout out Volibear. Volibear did well. Did well. I thought Aurelia was doing well topside,
To prove a point.
but
But even if they do rig it and they make it game of the year, it's not going to make the game. It's not going to make the game honestly popular because, well, if you're dealing